What's up, everyone? My name's Kevin, and I watch movies. And I had this cool intro planned, and I'm having audio issues. So, thanks for tuning in. Looks like we've got Jimmy Bird, my man, Nikhil, and Brady in here right now. Check. 1, 2. It's the first one, so there's going to be technical difficulties. I tried to get all fancy because I'm a video guy. And trying to check the audio now. Check. 1, 2. All right, it's coming through my phone, which is a good sign. Brady hears me. That's good. Thanks for tuning in. As you can tell, I'm super comfortable in front of a camera. And so we'll give it a few seconds to let it populate. Nate hears me. Hi, Katie. Thanks for joining. Hi, Sam. Thanks for joining. Going to give it a few more minutes to populate here as people are seeing the notification. This is going to be a hot live stream, literally, because I'm like sweating right now. It's got a little toasty. You can probably hear my computer is about to catch on fire. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll get started for real here in another minute or so. I got a like from somebody. That's fun. That's a fun little thing that popped up there. I'm not a natural talker, so let me pull up my notes. We're going to be talking about the Oscars tonight on this first ever stream on Kevin Watches Movies. We're going to be talking about the movies that I watched, and we'll see how many you guys watched, what your favorites were. Love to hear from you as we get started and talking about the categories and whatnot. Love to see your thoughts in the comments and interact with you as we do this. We'll see how long it lasts. I don't know how long I can talk like this for. Oh, I just got told by Instagram I'm about to hit my limit for the day, so that's fun. You might hear my dogs click-clacking around. Who doesn't like dogs? I don't know. Some people don't like dogs. That's fine. Okay, so let's get started. We'll hop right in talking about the Oscars tonight. If you watch the Oscars on Sunday night, it's Tuesday now. If you watch the Oscars on Tuesday, let me know in the comments. Let me know what your favorite Oscar moment was, because I'd love to talk about that. But let's talk about the production aspect of the Oscars this year, which is totally different than what they've done in years past. I love the way that it starts with Regina King walking. She's like walking down the red carpet, and she walks into the building, and she walks onto the stage ready to present the awards. When it first opened, Brady and I, my coworker who's in here somewhere, were talking about this. We thought it was like a legit, like pre-recorded movie type thing. I thought it was super cool and unique. I don't know if you guys saw the opening to the Oscars, but really loved how the whole night was shot kind of more cinematic. They used more like cinematic style cameras versus the traditional like broadcast style cameras. So with a unique Oscars this year, I thought it was a cool little unique thing that they did that really set it apart. And Regina King was like the perfect person to open the Oscars because she just walks out and she's so confident and just like owns the screen, just like walks through those halls like they're hers, and then she just comes up on stage and is ready to go. I thought it was really cool. Another interesting thing is sometimes they have musical performances, sometimes they don't. This year they didn't. I thought it would have been a cool element to do the musical performances because you could have done them like a music video, or you could have had them perform live from the various locations. They normally do that for Best Original Song when they do that. But they didn't this year, which I kind of see. I kind of don't. Brady says his favorite part was the little background information they gave to a lot of the nominees. I thought so too. Yeah, it was a really cool like human touch to these Hollywood people that we kind of mistakenly, I think, idolize. They kind of live the glitz and glam life, but it's nice to hear like, oh, this person started as an architect, and then they started building sets, and that's how they got into production design. Or this person, I think one of them started like a sushi bar or something, like a sushi catering business, and that funded their first film. So really cool personal details like that kind of make them seem just more relatable, which isn't something they always seem. But and I think some of them, like, what was your favorite film, or what got you into acting? Those kinds of questions were really cool, a really nice touch, I think. So that's also part of the production that was different this year. Normally it's really all about the awards, especially when somebody wins. They'll normally announce like they've been nominated for this many awards and have won this many times. They skipped all that this year, and they really streamlined the acceptance speeches, which I thought was a good thing. They didn't have to play anybody off because it seemed like, and as they were accepting the awards, it seemed like they had predetermined who would be accepting the awards and who would be speaking. So, having that designated person able to go out there and say what they're going to say, I think really helped streamline the process a lot. And it's always so awkward when somebody's talking about like, I dedicate this to my loved one who I lost this year, and they start, swelling the music underneath, and it's like, well, can't kind of let them finish. And it's even more awkward when they start to play somebody off and they get into something like super personal, and then they stop playing them off and the music just cuts abruptly. So I'm glad they kind of skipped all of that this year, and just kept everything streamlined. I hope they keep that going forward, because it can be a long show. I mean, sometime in the past it's been like 4 hours long, and it's just, it seems really self-congratulatory for all these famous people to kind of pat themselves on the back for how famous and great they are. But fortunately, I think this time they kind of humanized it a little more. So thanks, Brady. I thought that was cool too, the background information stuff. I need a water break. Hold on one second. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the specifics. See, some of the categories I wrote down that I want to talk about. Original score. I felt like that was a tough category, but I felt like Soul was really deserving of that. What was it? Minari was really good too. I don't know if you saw Minari yet, but both of those scores were really, really good. And Mank's score was really cool too, because it was very much that like old school Hollywood vibe. But I think Soul was pretty deserving of that win. I thought the music was really good. It kind of had to be. It's a movie about how, music, how important music is. So, yeah, go figure. Let's see. Original screenplay. Promising Young Woman was good, but I thought Sound of Metal was better. I thought the characters' motivations were much more clearly defined. I felt like at the you really don't find out what Promising Young Woman is like really about until, I don't know, probably 2/3 of the way through the movie. And so like it's partially intentional because they're trying to have a slow burn. And it mostly works, but it took me so long to get into the movie because I'm like, why is she doing these things? And they don't really explain that until well into the movie. So, adaptation is an interesting category. I always get confused on this one because so many times, like, movies based on like real life events will be original screenplay, and that confuses me. But the adaptation category is really about source material, and so if you're writing something about a historical event, but it's your original work, then it's an original screenplay. But if it's based on, let's say, a biography or a stage adaptation or a novel, then it's an adaptation. So there you have it. But I thought The Father was a good adaptation. I thought they used the film medium versus like Ma Rainey's Black Bottom was also a stage adaptation, and it felt like they tried to squeeze a stage play onto the screen, and I didn't feel like it worked very well. It still felt like a stage play because everything's very monologue-y. There's a lot of really long shots. It just kind of drags. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom does, and that's why I didn't really like it very much. Although Chadwick Boseman's performance is great, we'll get to that in a little bit. But I felt like The Father actually used the film medium very well, because of like the editing is really good. How I don't want to really spoil anything, but the main character has Alzheimer's, as I'm sure you know, and so they really use the editing and moving the different characters around in the same scene to that really makes the viewer feel confused, kind of like how the main character would feel. And so I feel like the film medium there was really used to help you relate to the character, versus Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, where it could have been a stage play and I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference. Like, they could have just recorded a stage play and put that out there, and I've been like, yep, there it is. And I might have actually enjoyed that more. I feel like I would have enjoyed seeing Ma Rainey's Black Bottom like in a stage theater more than I enjoyed the movie. So just some ramblings on adaptations. Let's see. I mentioned editing with The Father. Yeah, I thought the editing was really a big part of the storytelling elements, and it's part of what made the movie work for me. I think Sound of Metal deserved the win too, because same thing. Like, the editing is really drives the story along, and is used to help you relate to the character. One of the cool editing aspects of Sound of Metal is how they don't do subtitles for the sign language until Ruben learns sign language. And so that's one way they use editing to help you relate to the character and tell the story, which I think is super cool. Let's see. Documentary. My Octopus Teacher was just okay. I thought it's very odd It looked. I didn't see all of the documentary films. I saw The Mole Agent, which was very, very touching. It's about a guy who goes undercover in a nursing home to find to see if the residents there are being abused. But what he finds instead is that they're all just like really super lonely, and it's really sad. It kind of points at the issue of not taking care of our elderly, and I thought it was really good. And just from watching the trailers for the other films, they all looked like they had more of a human touch to it. And the octopus teachers, yeah, nature's super important, but I think what we really needed in this past year was a touch of humanity. And so that's kind of my main issue with My Octopus Teacher. It wasn't bad. I mean, and it was really beautifully shot, and it was a good movie, but I just felt like one of these other more human stories should have probably been the winner this year. International films, I didn't see any of them, but I did hear Another Round was really good. I also just saw that they're going to remake that as an English film with Leonardo DiCaprio as the main character, so that's interesting. And then let's see what else we got. Lead actress, Frances McDormand's a legend. She did do a great job. I thought Carey Mulligan had a more unique performance, and in a sense, I thought that was better. So I probably would have gone with her personally, but nevertheless, Frances McDormand gets number 3, I think, which puts her just behind Audrey Hepburn, if I'm getting my Oscar trivia right. So congrats to Frances McDormand. One funny note is I can't remember which Coen brothers she's married to, but he's sitting there at the Oscars. His wife just wins her 3rd Oscar for Best Actress, and he's just sitting there like... He's like so indifferent, and I just thought that was hilarious. Let's see. Oh, supporting actress. Yeah, that Minari... I'm not going to try to say the woman's name because I'm going to butcher it and I'm going to feel bad about it. But she plays kind of the quirky grandma in Minari, and she's hilarious and funny. Hilarious and funny mean the same thing. So she's hilarious and like just like a heartwarming character. Like she's super sweet, but like kind of rough around the edges and very fun. So, supporting actor, that category was stacked. I kind of figured one of the two dudes from Judas and the Black Messiah would win it. I could have gone with either one of them there. They were both phenomenal. But yeah. Let's see what else we got. Oh, yeah, Sound of Metal. Oh, we got a comment from Nate. He says he really loves the gif of Daniel Kaluuya. I hope I said his name right. That came afterwards. Yeah. His speech was hilarious. He was so, like, funny and humble, but also just like very real, and talks about, it's a miracle he's there because, his parents were intimate, which embarrassed his mom, who was in the crowd at the British Film Institute. So yeah, that his speech was great. And I don't know that I know the gift that Nate's talking about in particular, but I'm sure it probably is hilarious. Let's see. Brady says Sound of Metal should have won Best Sound, and he is right. It did win Best Sound. So, yeah. Also, Wolf from The Office is now an Oscar winner. I don't know who Wolf is in the Office. Help me out, Nate. Who's Wolf from The Office? While this is on time delay, let's talk about how Sound of Metal won Best Sound Editing. Yeah, I think pretty appropriate. They really use sound to help tell the story, and that's what I think is important when it comes to these awards. Like, how does production design help tell the story? How do the costumes help tell the story? And Sound of Metal uses sound, so like it has this tinnitus sound, which if you've ever had tinnitus, you know, like it's super annoying, and they use it really well. And I'm not like, hopefully not going deaf or anything, but like during like season changes and when I get really bad allergies, my ears kind of get stuffed up. And so like when he starts to lose his hearing, like, and it gets all muffled and like he can barely hear anything, like I've experienced that before. And so like that was like super relatable to me. Wolf is one of Dwight's friends who he interviewed to work at the office. Okay. I still don't know who that is. So thanks, Nate. I'll have to look it up afterwards. But, so yeah. Sound of Metal, best sound editing. Go figure. Okay, the two like major things that I wanted to talk about, and I hope I don't get too much heat for this, but people are talking about Chadwick Boseman being snubbed for the Oscar, and I just kind of want to push back on that a little bit because, and I'll read the definition of snubbed for you. It's an act of showing disdain or a lack of cordiality by rebuffing or ignoring someone for something. And so while you might be able to argue that Chadwick Boseman was ignored for this award, I don't think you can argue it was done with disdain, considering they reorganized the entire show, hoping that, or thinking at least, that he would win. Like normally Best Picture goes last because that's the top prize, but they literally put Best Actor last, thinking that Chadwick Boseman was going to win. So, to say that he was snubbed, I think is a bit of an overstatement. But I think this was a really tough competition for Best Actor. And I think Anthony Hopkins deserved the win as much as Chadwick Boseman and as much as Riz Ahmed, who I think also was pretty deserving of winning this award. So all three of those guys did a great job. And Chadwick Boseman, here's the thing about Chadwick Boseman is I think a lot people are putting a lot of weight on this award as part of his legacy, but I don't think it's really going to impact his legacy as a great actor at all. I think he's already recognized as that. I think everybody knows who Chadwick Boseman is, and I think his role as Black Panther and what that meant to so many people, that's going to be his legacy. And whether he won an Oscar or not, I don't really think that's going to affect much. And there's plenty of great and legendary actors who haven't won Best Picture or Best Actor, like Harrison Ford, Gary Oldman, Anthony Hopkins until 2 days ago. So like, yeah, I don't think. I think that's what people are worried about, and I don't think this is going to have much of an impact on the lasting legacy that he's going to leave behind. I think it would have been great to honor him in his final role, but I don't know. I think Nate says, I think also because of the roles he portrayed, including Jackie Robinson, is among the defining moments for him. Yeah, he was great as Jackie Robinson. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that Chadwick Boseman was a phenomenal actor, and I'll always remember that of him. And I couldn't name every actor who's won an Oscar, but I could name, my favorite actors, and I think Chadwick Boseman would be among them. So while the Oscars are important, especially to the people that win them, they're not the ultimate thing. Like, Alfred Hitchcock never won for Best Director, but he's regarded as one of the best directors of all time. So, when push comes to shove, I don't know. I don't think it's the end of the world. And, yeah. So I hope I don't get too much flack for that, but that's kind of how I'm feeling about the Best Actor situation. And then the last thing I want to talk about this evening is the Best Picture winner, Nomadland. So the more I've thought about Nomadland, the less I like it. And then it wins Best Picture, and I really just kind of went, eh. I mean, I think everybody expected that because of how well it's been doing this award season, but for me, it just kind of felt anticlimactic. Like, it felt like the safe pick when so many of these films this year are about, like, more important matters. Like, not that Nomadland's not about something important. Like, it does highlight these nomad people. It does highlight the need to take care of yourself and things like that. But I felt like there are so many more important stories this year that push for a message that's bigger than just an individual. Like Trial of the Chicago 7 and Judas and the Black Messiah are both about Chicago specifically in the late 60s and police brutality. Like, I mean, you just have to turn the news on for 5 seconds to figure out that that's a very relevant and real problem in the world, and specifically the United States. And I'm also looking at Promising Young Woman, which deals with the sexual assault that is unfortunately so regularly a problem for women. Like, it's again something that's bigger than just the individual. That's it. Minari, about an immigrant family and the importance of family. So there's so many of these films that The Father, which is talking about, taking care of the elderly and Alzheimer's, and, do you take care of your family? Do you put them in a home? These difficult life questions. So I just felt like Nomadland was kind of the safe option. Like, we don't want to, upset anyone. So we'll just go with Nomadland. It's a pretty vanilla pick. And that's kind of what it felt like. Nomadland is good. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5. I think in hindsight, I'd probably drop it down to a 3 out of 5. But yeah, that's kind of where I land on Nomadland winning Best Picture. Not super pumped about it, to be quite honest. So that's all I've got for notes. I'll hang out for another minute or two. If anyone's got any Oscar questions or comments, I would love to talk about that. Nate says, still not as bad as Shakespeare in Love beating Save It Private Ryan. Yeah. And see, this is what I'm talking about with, like, the Oscars aren't everything. Everybody knows that Saving Private Ryan is a great movie and probably the greatest war film of all time. So, like, yeah, I like the Oscars. I think they're really fun to watch and talk about. But, and I'll even see certain movies because they're Oscar nominated. But that's not what all of my movie opinions hinge on. And I'm kind of glad that Oscar season's over, because I'm really excited to, especially for this page, to move on to other things, because I've been talking about the Oscars for a long time, it feels like, especially with them coming so late in the year this year because of COVID. But I'm really looking forward to talking about other things. Nate says, which movie gets remembered more? And also, Citizen Kane didn't win Best Picture either. Yeah. And like I said, Hitchcock never won for Best Director. Nolan has never won for Best Director. You know, I think Kubrick won. Kubrick didn't win for Best Director. He won for something else. Brady says, even if some films didn't win much, the Oscars get me to hear about some movies I may have not heard about. That's true. That's one thing that I do like about the Oscars. I probably would have not seen Mank, or honestly, probably wouldn't have seen Promising Young Woman, may not have seen Minari. But the fact that they got Oscar nominations, yeah, that's pretty much why I saw them. Well, Golden Globes is what I originally started with because there's a lot of crossover there. But I am Steelbook Man joining in the game. If you are into collecting movies, particularly steelbooks, I am Steelbook Man is your man, aka Gentry. How you doing, man? I'm not gonna tell anybody, but he's at work right now. Oh wait, I just told the 3 people that are here. Oh, and I knocked my phone off the table. It took Spielberg till Schindler's List to win Best Director. Yeah. So, you know, the Oscars are cool. The Oscars are fun, but they're not everything. And you know, there's plenty of great movies that will never even be nominated. So, like, Endgame, for example, and any of the like top grossing movies, they never get nominated for any awards because they're not artsy or whatever. But it's like, you know, Captain America picking up Thor's hammer and, you know, saying Avengers Assemble is like the most ridiculous, amazing theater like movie moment I've ever witnessed. So Nate says, there are so many of my favorites that haven't been awarded. Bizarre to me that Jaws didn't win, Raiders didn't win, Jurassic Park didn't. Yeah, I mean, these are all great movies. What about the animation team for Sonic the Hedgehog? Nate says, I'm a bit of a Spielberg fan, if that's not apparent. It is apparent, Nate. But that's okay. We've all got our favorites. I'll watch just about anything Nolan puts out. And Tenet, I think, is coming on HBO Max on May 1st. So I'm super pumped about that. Brady, we're not going to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog. Are you kidding me? Go eat a chili dog and chill out. So, all right. Well, we can give it another, since it's on a delay, I'll give you guys a chance to respond, and then I'll probably hop off of here. I appreciate you guys for your views and your support. This has been fun. What I'm probably going to do is chop this up into clips and post the Also, this was the first time a video game company won an Oscar. What video game company won an Oscar? Is it? Somebody thanked Electronic Arts. Sonic says, "Give us an Oscar." Somebody thanked Electronic Arts, but I don't remember which award it was. Hey, Senna Arthur. I hope I said your name right. Put the original version of Sonic in the in memoriam. Yeah, R.I.P. to original animation Sonic, which looked terrible. May it not rest in peace. Okay, so yeah, I'll cut up the little comments I made about the different awards and stuff, and I'll post those as individual videos. Oculus Studios and Apex Legends are the video game company that got awarded. I still don't know what they got awarded for, but that's fine. Thanks everyone for watching. And it's for Colette. Oh wow, they worked on that? That's wild. Okay. Yeah, I had no idea. Very cool. Very cool. All right, for real this time. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm Kevin, and I watch movies, and I look forward to talking with you guys more about movies some other time. And I'll see you next time. Bye.